Perfect.
Welcome to the SparcStart TA Leaders Series. Today, I am thrilled to have Allison Kruse join us. Allison has been a real pioneer in video and one of the real stars of the industry. She is currently the Baxter Global Brand Lead and has all sorts of experience to share with us. So welcome, Allison.
Thanks, Maury. Always good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm delighted. Let's just start. I'd love the audience to get a sense of how many videos you make. We hear a lot of people who want to produce, a recruiting video. And you got over that a long time ago and understand that there are lots of recruiting videos. How many videos do you think you've got in your employer brand library, roughly?
Oh my gosh, hundreds. But we kind of define video very loosely. So maybe that would help to kind of share that piece. So like when I think of video, I think of like live video, somebody speaking, but also animated text or a photo with an animated quote. So some kind of movement. So video is, I kind of use that term like broadly. So when I say hundreds, it's not all hundreds of live videos, which would be amazing, but yeah, it's a blend.
Right. And this may seem like an obvious question, but why do you do it? Why do you bother to animate a text or animate an image?
So I am a geek when it comes to KPIs and measuring content performance and channel performance and conversions, basically like what's getting awareness, engagement, all the way down to conversions. And my data is showing like videos perform better. Having like a GIF or a video usually perform better than a static image. And so because I know it works, and because I've seen data, how it enhances the recruiter experience, candidate experience, hiring manager experience, social media metrics, and I continue to do it because it's working.
I keep saying these talking, moving picture things, they've got a future. It's not a fad.
They're not going away. No, they're a real thing.
That's good. Since you have global responsibility at Baxter, can you just talk about how do you customize content by country? Do you? How does it vary even by part of the world?
Yes, it absolutely does. One thing that's been my best friend being in a global role is templates. It's kind of giving people templates that are easy to use because, video can be scary or intimidating for some people. We're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But like having a template, having some guardrails, or like when you go bowling and you have like the gutters where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna completely fail here. There's some like guardrails that will help protect me stay on brand. So that's been really helpful because the content creation globally is done by many, many people, not just me and my small team. So kind of those templates and kind of those guardrails really help people build their confidence and be like, okay, I'm not going to completely go off brand and do something I shouldn't do because I've got some helpful tips and guidelines. So that's how.
Do you find it's harder to get employee-generated content in certain parts of the world, or is it all a matter of just setting people up properly?
Yeah, it depends. We are in so many countries, and our brand ambassadors are from so many different countries, and there's definitely some cultural nuances of people being comfortable on camera or people being comfortable even like sharing their photo externally. So we really need to just follow like our employees' lead and never force somebody to be uncomfortable. If they don't want to be in the spotlight, that's okay. Like they don't need to be. That's totally fine. They can contribute to the brand in other ways. So yeah, definitely differences across the world.
But you do find variations. I can say this because I've got a German background. We were expecting some of the videos we were going to see out of Germany to be fairly formal and stiff. And actually, one of the most playful, funny videos that we've ever seen on the platform came from deep in Germany. So sometimes people surprise you, except the Irish are always great storytellers.
One of my closest work friends is Irish, and there's not a day goes by where I talk to her and she doesn't make me laugh. I adore her, so I would agree with that. But yeah, I think more that's a good point. Like we can't assume cultural differences either, and we really just follow the lead of. We just need to follow other people's lead and be empathetic, and don't force somebody to be uncomfortable.
But to your point about guardrails, I find that people are hesitant. They don't want to look foolish. And oftentimes they don't know what's expected of them. So giving them that kind of, here's what we want, here's a couple of examples that will help, that once they see and they know what's expected of it, it really does change the dynamic. It's very different than just being told, make a video. Like,
That's
well,
right.
I don't know what you want here. But
Right.
people will help you if you
Yeah.
give them the stuff. So
In advance so they can think about it, and like they might want to write notes. They might want to write themselves a script. That's okay. Like it's just flexing to what they need so they can feel comfortable. I agree.
yeah, it's all great. And
Hmm.
one of the things that we see, a lot of people start off their journey to doing employer brand video. And they very loosely, they want to tell employees stories.
Mhm.
And we find the folks who are good at it take it to another step. It's not just, oh, gee, Anna's got an interesting story, let's film Anna. It's purposeful. It's
Yeah.
understanding there are things we want to communicate. How do you do that? How do you not just tell a random, have some employee tell a random story? How do you make sure there's purpose? And going back to your KPIs, something that's going to move the needle.
Yeah, so it depends on what the video is for, but I can just give an example. Let's say that we are doing a campaign where we're talking about, this is where I belong. This is where I feel like a sense of belonging. We might first have a discussion with the person, with the employee, and say, here's our 4 EVP pillars. Out of these 4 EVP pillars, say that 3 times, what resonates with you the most and why? So there's a preparation kind of session before the video, which really helps them kind of, one, feel more comfortable and think about what they want to say and how our EVP truly does resonate with them. But it helps kind of pull out a story ahead of time so they're not on camera like, oh, I'm not sure what to say. So we start with if for a campaign like that, if it's based on our EVP pillars, we will actually tell them what they are and then ask questions around, hey, tell me about a time. We're TA, we tell me about a time, to give me an example. So it's sort of like a very informal little interview of like, give me an example of when you felt like, EVP pillar 1, because what we have found with like employee storytelling is you do need to guide it so that the end result content actually fits within the story that you're trying to share. So prompting an employee ahead of time, that has been super impactful because we could have persona-based campaigns, EVP pillar-based campaigns, something related to DE&I, and it all comes down to like strategically coming up with those questions that you're anticipating their response will be in line with your whole point of what you're trying to say in that campaign.
I love that. We've heard from time to time people who like give employees a script because they want to make sure they hit those key words. And we always say, if your EVP is true and genuine, it's going to come out when your employees talk. Because if they don't, it's not the video that's the problem, it's your EVP.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, if your employees don't have something that says, oh yes, here's what belonging means to me, or here's what accountability or cooperation or whatever those things are, you've got a bigger problem. So the idea that we can't just let our employees talk, of course you can let them talk, let them go.
It comes with the art of the question. Like, what's the question? I mean, I think that's what can be scripted ahead of time, is the questions, not the responses. You will feel this way because this is our EVP, so you're going to feel this way, okay? Like, you can't do that. That's not authentic. It's not honest.
And let me ask the last question, so I don't want to hold you long. I know you're busy, but last question. One of the things we're talking here a lot about is with all the AI generated content going on out there, we're hearing that credible content is going to have a huge premium. Have you thought about that? Are you thinking, you've got your animated text and things like that. Are you thinking of going to maybe more in-person delivery of messages? Or are you using AI and just running with it and assuming it's all going to work out eventually?
I am really skeptical with AI. So I am I would say I have a pinky toe, not even the big toe, like just a pinky toe in there, because I think the whole point of activating your EVP and having authentic employee storytelling is that it's actually somebody's story. So like AI created content, I mean, sure, would I maybe try AI for a job description copy? Maybe, but I just read a really interesting blog article from the Textio CEO that she tried it, and they were all like the job descriptions that AI produced were severely biased. So I'm like, I don't want to have severely biased. So it's interesting. That's why, there's so much out there about AI right now. And I know it's like a big buzz thing, but from what I'm hearing, I'm like, well, I don't want biased content. I don't want it to be inauthentic. I don't want it to sound like every other healthcare company out there. So I'm dipping my toe in. I think that there's use for it. I just haven't fallen in love with any particular use of it yet in my world.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see, and we're actually talking about doing some research around this, that candidates are really going to value informal video, and I'm hoping that companies will now learn to move away from the overly produced, overly slick videos that candidates have never liked anyway. It feels like a commercial.
Right.
It feels manipulated.
Yeah.
And we hear, oh, well, we're a professional company. We have to present it. It's like, no, you don't have to present yourself as slick and manufactured.
Right.
You have real people.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it
A
takes
real,
while to get there.
yeah. But I think especially, I mean, there's a situation at Baxter that I can use for an example of that. There are certain positions where someone's working in a clean room and they have to gown up and they have to wear certain protective clothing. I could have the slickest video about what Baxter does for our patients, but that gives that candidate no indication of what it's going to feel like to gown up. What is it going to feel like to walk through those doors? What is it going to feel like to actually work with these amazing products, right? So like, I think an overly produced commercial for Baxter is just maybe more noise. It's not really the content a candidate really needs to understand about what is the lived in experience going to be like. Only a video from featuring a real Baxter employee is going to do that. It can't be this overly produced commercial. That's just going to be noise. I agree completely.
I love it. That's why you're a star of this industry. Yes, that's what it's all about. Having a candidate feel what it's like. Let them try on the job. Because when that happens, you started recruiting them. When they start envisioning themselves in the job, that's really when you started to recruit them. And you go back to your KPIs. That's it. Wonderful. Great. I will let 100%. You go back to the millions of things on your to-do list that you're doing globally. But thank you so much for this. It's really valuable. Have a great day. Thanks.
Always enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you.